The war in the Carillion expanse had been quiet for weeks. At least, quiet enough that the galaxy had begun to forget the Royal Starfleet, its fleets scattered, its colonies vulnerable. On the fringes of the expanse, pirates thrived. Not just scavengers, but a coordinated, ruthless fleet that preyed on the weak and the unprepared. Queen Lysara of the Velora dynasty knew this all too well. She had spent decades navigating the political currents of the inner systems, but no amount of diplomacy or strategy could have prepared her for the attack that struck her flagship in the dead of night. The Velora's Pride, a gleaming vessel of polished alloys and defensive shields, had been cruising toward a trade summit when the first warning came. Alarms screamed across the decks as pirate frigates erupted from hidden warp lanes, their black hulls darting like predators in a hunting ground. Lysara, calm as ever, took command from her throne room bridge, directing her crew to defensive formations. Yet even she could see the truth. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and surrounded. Among the chaos, one human prisoner lay in chains at the ship's lowest brig. His name was Elias Rowe, a soldier captured during the border skirmishes along the fringes of human-controlled sectors. Unlike many of the other prisoners, he had a reputation that reached far beyond the walls of the prison cell. A human who had survived countless campaigns, fought against odds so extreme that most would have died without a second thought. But here he was, shackled, a pawn among pawns, as the pirates prepared to board and take the queen hostage. Beginning, chaos unleashed. The first boarding party slammed into the Velora's Pride with energy blades and shock rifles, moving through the corridors with precise coordination. Lysara's guards met them head-on, but even her elite troops could only slow the tide. The queen watched as her command officers fell, caught off guard by the pirates' ferocity. In the brig, Elias had heard the alarms. First he did nothing. He had been beaten, humiliated, and restrained in ways meant to break his spirit. But as the metallic vibrations of combat reached the walls of his cell, something primal awoke within him. Humans, he reminded himself, never gave up. Not fully. Not ever. The chains around his wrists were thick, designed to suppress strength and keep him under control. Yet he flexed against them, muscles coiling with effort. His jaw tightened as he recalled Lysara's face from the docking ceremony, stern, regal, dignified, and remembered the whispered stories among the crew. The queen never abandoned a single soul under her charge. That thought alone sparked a fire in him. She could do that for her people, he could do this for her. With a grunt, he snapped the restraining cuffs. The mechanism, old and poorly maintained, failed under his sheer force. He had been trained for years to exploit weaknesses in systems like this. The chains fell to the floor with a metallic clang that seemed to echo throughout the lower decks. Elias's first action was instinctive. Locate the bridge, assess the situation, and intervene where he could. Middle, breaking the chains of fate. The corridors were chaos incarnate. Pirates moved with predatory precision, human and alien crew alike were downed or fleeing, and the sound of plasma fire ricocheting off the walls created a cacophony of terror. Yet Elias moved with focus, dodging energy blasts, disabling pirate sensors, and using his training to outmaneuver opponents 10 at a time. Every step brought him closer to the bridge. Every breath reminded him that humans had survived far worse. At a junction, he encountered a Kyrene guard pinned under debris. Without hesitation, Elias lifted the wreckage and pulled the alien to safety, earning a sharp, grateful nod. They moved together, silent but efficient, knowing the queen's survival was more important than their own fear. On the bridge, Lysara faced her direst moment. Surrounded on all sides by pirate officers, her communication systems jammed, and her ship's weapons mostly offline, she realized that her survival depended on a miracle, or a wild card she hadn't even considered. The doors to the bridge screamed open. There, silhouetted against the emergency lights, stood Elias Rowe. His uniform torn, face streaked with sweat and blood, yet his posture radiated unstoppable resolve. The pirates hesitated. Human soldiers, they knew from rumor, were unpredictable. But this was a prisoner. They expected fear, surrender, or compliance. What they didn't expect was defiance. Elias moved like a storm. One pirate officer attempted a flank maneuver. Elias caught the wrist-mounted plasma rifle and twisted it, sending sparks flying and the pirate sprawling across the deck. Another drew a blade. Elias grabbed the edge with his bare hand, twisting it until it bent, then threw the attacker against the wall with controlled fury. The Queen watched, astonished. This human, chained only hours ago, was now a whirlwind of precision and violence. It was not mindless brutality. It was strategy, adaptation, and fearless protection. Middle, turning the tide. Elias didn't just fight. He commanded. He directed Lysara's surviving crew, rallying them to defend the bridge while simultaneously neutralizing pirate officers. With hand signals and shouts, he orchestrated a small counteroffensive, using the ship's layout to funnel enemies into traps. Pirate morale broke quickly. A single prisoner, who should have been helpless, was turning the tide. The Queen herself realized something important. Humanity's reputation wasn't built on numbers or technology alone. It was built on willpower, adaptability, and courage. By the time the last pirate officer attempted a desperate retreat toward the escape pods, Elias had already rigged the bridge door with a short-circuit trap. He grabbed the pirate, wrestled him to the floor, and left him for the authorities. Silence fell. Smoke drifted across the bridge, sparks raining from damaged consoles. And standing amid the wreckage, Elias turned to the Queen. Ending. Humanity triumphs. Lysara approached him slowly, aware that this human had risked everything to protect her. "You were supposed to be a prisoner," she said softly. Elias wiped blood from his brow. "I was never just a prisoner," he replied. "I protect those who can't protect themselves. That includes you, Your Majesty." The Queen extended her hand, the first human she had ever truly trusted. "You've saved more than my life tonight. You've saved hope." Elias grasped it firmly, feeling a connection deeper than words. Across the galaxy, ships would report the bravery of a single human who refused to remain powerless. Tales of the prisoner who broke chains and saved a queen would spread, a legend in the making. For Lysara, it was more than survival. It was the realization that humans were not myths, not mere tools of war, but a force that could change fate itself. And for Elias, it was proof of what humanity did best: stand, fight, and protect when no one else could. The Velora's pride limped back to the inner systems, battered but alive. Queen Lysara regained her throne, her people emboldened by the story of a human who defied chains and expectations. And Elias Rowe, once a prisoner, became a symbol of hope across the stars, a living testament to humanity's resilience. As the stars stretched beyond the viewport, the Queen whispered, "You've broken more than chains tonight. You've broken destiny itself." Elias only smiled. Humans were built to do exactly that. The galaxy would remember.